Dave.
Hiya, sweetheart.
Dave, you're late.
Don't worry, kid. It's all under control.
Will you cut that out and tell me what's going on around here?
Another time, another place, kid. By the way, have you seen a blonde dame and a guy named Beck?
No, I haven't. And could you just stop the Cary Grant act and tell me what's going on around here?
It's not Cary Grant. It's Humphrey Bogart. See? Yeah, when they told me we were doing Casablanca, I was real excited. Hey, where's the guy with the drinks anyway?
Dave, we're not doing the movie. We're doing ceiling fans.
Ceiling fans?
Casablanca ceiling fans.
They told me being that we were doing the movie.
No. Ceiling fans.
Well, I guess we don't need to be in black and white, huh?
We do not need to be in. Good.
Yeah, I guess we don't need all these people then, do we?
No, Dave, we do not need the people.
I have another question for you, Dean. Can I keep the tux?
Keep the tux?
Mm-hmm.
Dave, I don't think we need tux at Home Depot.
But it's a rental, and I paid for it myself.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, okay, keep the tux.
Okay, great. How about the cafe? Should we lose the cafe?
I think this will work. It's a pretty classy place, and Casablanca fans are classy fans.
So we're going to be selling Casablanca fans, huh?
That's right.
I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, we sell lots of fans in the stores now, and that seems to be okay.
Well, have you seen our fans, Dave?
Fans are fans, you know, blades, and they spin around, right? You know, what's the difference?
Yeah, they do all of that, but Dave, I don't think you've seen our fans. Watch this.
You guys have some really sexy fans. I got to tell you, Dean, I'm impressed.
Well, I thought you'd probably say that.
But they don't look like our typical $39.95 fan, and I'm afraid to ask you how much they're going to cost.
Well, you're right. They're not $39.95, but they start at about $200.
$200. That ought to be a tough sell.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dave, say hello to Steve Heinrich.
Steve,
Hi,
nice
Dave,
to meet
how you
you.
doing?
Steve's with Casablanca as well.
Okay, well, you guys really think our customers are going to pay that for fans?
Oh, you
Of
bet
course,
they will.
absolutely.
They need to learn a little something about Casablanca first, though.
Okay. Well, I saw Brian Scott come in earlier, I think. I bet he's got something to say about Casablanca.
You've got to remember that these fans aren't there just to move air around. Casablanca fans are a design item. They appeal to people who want the very best for their home. And I think you'll see a lot of professional designers buying them for their clients. Listen to what a few of them had to say about Casablanca.
I like the quality. Casablanca makes a real good fan. I think they've done a nice job. I think it's nice to see that this is something that you can provide to the consumer.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed. The choice of the fan blades, the lighting, and of course the control units that are available. Yeah, quite flexible.
There is a style for literally every type of decor that a person would use, from a very black and white bachelor apartment to a upscale traditional formal home.
I love what's going on in the industry. I think that there's been an explosion. And I think that the consumer has a lot more to choose from now. And I think it can be much more in their style of design. You don't have to just go out and find a ceiling fan because that's all that exists. You can pick and choose from some real pretty designs now.
At that price range, someone's looking for the quality, the styling, and of course the reliability.
I'm glad we're getting this product because we have many homes here that are in excess of $500,000, and we frequently have been in some that are $2 and $3 million, and these are the kind of products that we need for them. But on the other hand, it is not just a product for that price range of home. Someone who is a die-hard does not fall into the category of moving and selling their home every 5 or 6 years and knows they're going to live there for 15 or 20 years or die there, should buy this type of product rather than to having to replace the other one every few years because the motor burns out.
It used to be years ago, let's say in the 70s and early 80s, that people would make a contemporary home or they'd make a traditional home. Now, as you see, most of the buildings that are going up are a blend of the two. Usually a traditional fascia or at least classical lines. And so the ceiling fan or any other pieces that you would purchase would more or less take on a traditional contemporary blend look. And so the styling is very important today.
There's definitely a mix of the old and the new, and the fans do a nice job of pulling all that together.
Pardon me, excuse me, Brian. I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but I couldn't help but overhear what you were talking about. And I understand about the professional customers buying the Casablanca fans.
Right.
But what I want to know is, are our do-it-yourself customers going to pay the money for these fans?
Well, that really depends on us. That being the designers in our stores, the guys and girls in electrical and light cloud. They all have to know how to sell these fans, and the best way to do that is learn about the features and benefits of Casablanca fans. When our customers learn about the quality and features of Casablanca, they'll make the investment.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go now and try to find out what makes these such darn good fans.
Guys, the reason I'm excited about Casablanca fans is this is going to really legitimize our light clouds. By that I mean in the past, Casablanca was a fan that you could only find in the high-priced design houses and showrooms throughout the United States. But now that fan's going to be available at the Home Depot at warehouse pricing. And you know what? With the help that we can give them in our fan and light clouds, with the experts that we have, this is going to be a real winner for us. So, guys, when the customers come in, take them over to that Casablanca fan and show it to them. It's a great quality product, one that we can be proud of that's on our fan and light clouds, and one that you can be proud of selling. Good luck in selling the fan, and I'll see you in the stores.
Okay, Dean, convince me.
Okay, let's take a look at this one step at a time, Dave.
All right, I know that a fan can't do much without a motor. Why is your motor better? This is the heart of each Casablanca fan, the K55 motor. It's an 18-pole permanent split capacitor induction motor. Casablanca engineers designed this motor specifically for ceiling fans. Many cheaper fans use generic motors, which can be found in all kinds of appliances. The K55 features sealed, maintenance-free bearings which never need oiling. And because of its precision ball bearing design, the K55 only pulls 9/10 of an amp at high speed, which is about the same as a 100-watt light bulb. This translates into smooth, trouble-free operation and energy savings.
Are you starting to get the idea?
Yeah, it's a great motor, but what about the rest of the fan, like the blades?
Well, I'll tell you about the blades, but first let me let you in on a Casablanca secret.
Okay. And what the heck is this?
Well, that's a Casablanca silent flex flywheel.
The silent flex flywheel? Now, the flywheel, if I understand it, is the part that holds the blades onto the rest of the fan.
That's right.
It's kind of flimsy, though, isn't it?
Well, flimsy compared to this?
See, now this is what I call a flywheel.
Yeah, for a cheap fan.
For a cheap fan, I'll take metal over rubber any old day.
But your ceiling fan will wobble right up the ceiling.
No, well, why is that?
Watch this.
This is the Casablanca silent flex flywheel. It's rubberized to allow the blades to give slightly. It's sort of like the shock absorbers on a car. This feature helps to eliminate blade wobble as the motor spins. Now, many less expensive fans use rigid steel flywheels. The connection of the blades to the motor is metal to metal. Even the slightest vibration from the motor gets passed directly to the flywheel and onto the blades, sometimes causing dramatic wobble and lots of noise. Casablanca's silent flex flywheel can absorb this vibration. The turbine-like fins connected to the hub keep the motor running cool and efficiently. The flywheel is configured for either 4 or 5 blade operation. You use the round holes for 5 blades and the square holes for 4. It's like I was telling you guys before, Dean. Rubber beats steel any day of the week.
That's right. And you wanted to know more about the blades, didn't you?
Absolutely. I really want to know what makes them so great.
Well, it all starts with hand-matched wood.
Every Casablanca blade is inspected, hand-matched for finish, and weighed to within 1 gram. This measurement is critical because the slightest difference in weight can cause tremendous instability. When the inspector gets 5 blades that match, he sends the set to be packaged. Should your customer damage a blade, a new matched set is required to replace it. It's like having a perfectly balanced set of tires. In addition to hand matching, blade construction makes Casablanca superior. Most imported blades are particle board with 2 pieces of wood veneer on either side. Many are even printed in paper finishes. Because wood expands and contracts with temperature and humidity, it is susceptible to warping. To prevent this, Casablanca uses an 8-ply hardwood veneer construction. 2 pieces of high-quality furniture finish are selected for the outside. The 6 pieces inside are bonded in a crossover pattern that resists warping. This layering effect helps increase blade strength and uniformity.
Another important Casablanca advantage is the blade pitch.
Okay, now, am I right? That's the angle that the blades are mounted at.
Exactly.
Okay.
Have you ever stood underneath a ceiling fan that's spinning like crazy and not felt any air move at all?
All the time.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the blade pitch. In order for a fan to do its job, moving air, the blades have to bite the air to push it upward or downward. The more air you move, the more resistance you encounter. More resistance means you need a more powerful motor. Manufacturers of cheaper fans compensate for their weak motors by mounting their blades at 10 degrees or even 3 degrees. So you end up with a fan that spins like crazy without moving any air. Casablanca blades are all calibrated at 14 degrees. This ensures proper airflow, and we use a motor that can handle the resistance.
So let me get this straight. You've got the best blades at the best angle on the best motor with a great flywheel.
That's right.
What about other parts?
Let's take a look at how the metal components are manufactured.
One of the most significant differences between Casablanca fans and the cheaper imports is the quality of the metal components. Many imports are made by stamping parts from thin-gauge steel and then spray painting. All Casablanca metal components are made from die-cast zinc alloys, which are electroplated or powder-coated electrostatically. Now let's take a look at these processes. We begin with zinc, a rugged, durable, but lightweight metal. The zinc is heated into its molten form at a temperature of 850 degrees. A steel mold, or die, is injected with the molten zinc using a high-powered hydraulic system. The parts cool rapidly to form a perfectly shaped metal component. These parts are the fan canopy. Excess zinc is cut from the part using a hydraulic press. Small parts are inspected and put into an agitator. These tiny polished rocks vibrate around curves and into crevices to knock off rough edges and give each part a smooth finish. You can really see and feel the difference. Larger parts are hand polished. Many parts require machining. In this area, the fan stem is undergoing 3 different drilling operations. The milky blue liquid is a special mixture of oil and water that keeps the parts cool and lubricated during the process. Before parts can be painted or plated, inspectors check fit and finish and do any final filing. Many finishes, like brass or chrome, are electroplated. The electroplating process begins with more polishing. It's important that the surface be perfectly smooth and free from imperfections. The die-cast parts are fixed onto plating racks which are hooked to a crane. The crane lowers the parts into a cyanide wash to clean off any oils or dirt that might affect the plating process. Then the parts move to a rinse. After the rinse, the parts are dipped into an acid copper bath, which seals any porous parts of the metal. The parts are rinsed again and put into the nickel plating. The nickel gives the part its mirror finish. Electroplating occurs by running negatively charged electric current through the tank. A positive charge is put on the metal parts. When the parts are lowered into the tank, the negatively charged nickel is attracted to the positively charged surface of the metal part. Brass parts are then electroplated with a zinc and copper mixture. The electroplated parts are sealed with a clear coat enamel, ensuring that the finish will last for years. Without this enamel coating, the brass would oxidize and turn black very quickly. The entire plating process takes about 5 hours. Some of the fans have a painted finish. Instead of spray painting, Casablanca uses a plastic polymer powder coating that is applied electrostatically and baked on. This provides a hard, sealed finish that won't chip or flake. The Verdi finishes are done by hand. Each part is individually painted, giving each fan character and style. To ensure that all the parts fit together perfectly, random samples are taken from the production line and measured using this instrument. The size and shape of the part is measured to a fraction of an inch. Tolerances are very tight so that each fan performs exactly to Casablanca's specifications.
All right, Dean. So far we've been talking just about the fan itself. But what about when it comes time to actually install the fan? Is there anything different we need to know about that?
Well, Dave, as a matter of fact, there is.
Every Casablanca fan comes with a hang-true canopy. It's engineered for all applications, whether the ceiling is cathedral style or flat. Its self-centering ball allows the fan to hang it up to a 42-degree angle. The canopy includes a hatch, which allows the customer to attach the canopy to the junction box and their fan. Their hands are left free to make electrical connections inside. When they're done, they simply add the hatch cover piece with a screwdriver. Holes are available in 6-inch increments up to 20 feet.
I think I could install one of those.
Just about anyone can, Dave.
You know, another Casablanca advantage is hand assembly. We don't use any automated production lines to build our fans. They're all handmade.
The fan assembly begins with the motor and the Silent Flex flywheel. Flywheels are inspected and attached to the motor stem. The motor shaft is inserted as the unit moves towards electric housing. Here, the electric housing is attached. The wiring is installed here. These microprocessors don't come from Japan. They're made under the same roof as the fans. Let's take a closer look. Each circuit board is stuffed by hand. Each component has a specific location on the board. The loaded boards are soldered using a moving solder bath. As the circuit boards come off the soldering line, they're run through a series of electrical tests. Since ceiling fans often work in hot environments, the final test involves baking the circuit board in these hot boxes. If they survive 8 hours in these ovens, they pass. Back in the assembly area, the circuit boards are installed and wired. Now the motor is ready for its housing. The metal components are carefully attached. The fan is tested, inspected, and ready for packaging.
They work hard. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Denise, how you doing?
Hey, Denise, how are you?
What's going on?
Well, I think old Dave here was a little confused in the beginning. He thought he was doing Bogart in Casablanca.
Fans, Dave. Fans.
I know. We're talking about fans now.
Dean, have you shown them the light kits yet?
You know, we were just getting into that as you walked up.
And Denise, I understand you used to work for a big lighting company.
Yeah, I've worked with all kinds of light fixtures, and these Casablanca kits are by far the best you can get. Our customers are going to want a fan in every room.
I hope so.
Have you shown them the IntelliTouch controls yet?
Not yet.
What is that? Is that the light switch?
It's a whole lot more than a light switch, Dave.
Many of the fans feature the IntelliTouch control system. By sending electrical impulses through the existing wiring, the IntelliTouch computer can control power to the fan and lights, fan speed, light intensity, fan direction, and execute several user programs. The system requires no additional wiring. Both the light and the fan can be controlled using a 2-wire system. The IntelliTouch system has a built-in demo program to help you explain its features to your customers. In addition to the demo program, the IntelliTouch system has 4 additional user programs. The Light Minder program automatically turns off the fan-mounted lights after 2 hours. The Fan Minder program is useful at night in bedrooms. Fan Minder will reduce the speed of the fan every 2 hours to compensate for the cooling night air. The Home Safe program makes an unoccupied home appear occupied by turning the lights on and off at random times. The Safe Exit program gives you about 30 seconds of light, enabling you to exit your home safely before the lights go out. Details on the IntelliTouch system can be found in your Casablanca workbook.
Have you guys seen Mike Barnes around here?
Yeah, I know he's around here somewhere.
Ceiling fans aren't just appliances anymore. They've replaced many chandeliers, and the great thing about this Casablanca lineup is the design that goes into them.
The idea came from our desire to redefine a ceiling fan as a product. I think the ceiling fan has been a real stagnant product in terms of innovation and product development for the last 10 years, 15 years maybe. Casablanca sort of defined the original residential ceiling fan, made a ceiling fan with fine wood finishes on the blades, fine polished finishes on the motor housings, put a decorative light kit on the bottom, introduced some innovative controls, and created a fan that was more appropriate for a home than for a factory or for a butcher shop, which is where they were used. And I think they really started that, really defined what the public expected in a ceiling fan. The Panama 5 and the Delta both became benchmarks that everybody else had to live up to. And those fans have been widely copied and have become sort of the industry standard now. We want to redefine that. We want Casablanca to always be what people think of when they think of ceiling fans. So our desire was to create an entirely new product definition for a ceiling fan. Integrated lighting, halogen lighting, a really clean, smooth, modern motor housing. So there's nothing that really constrains you technologically in designing a new fan, except for the fact that it has to have some blades to move the air around and a light on the bottom to illuminate a room. We're trying to set up a new direction for the product and the way people perceive the product. Ceiling fans reached a saturation level with the public where everybody who wanted a ceiling fan bought a ceiling fan. Now the challenge is to sell ceiling fans to people that don't want ceiling fans. So we got to come up with designs that appeal to people who, when they think of a ceiling fan, they say to themselves, I don't really want a ceiling fan. I want people to walk into the store and look at the ceiling and say, I want that hanging over my dining room table. And it's not necessarily a fan in their eyes. It moves air and it provides lighting and it helps improve home comfort. But they wouldn't immediately say, I want that ceiling fan over my table. They'll say, I want that fixture.
The other important part of the Casablanca program is the service after the sale. Their after-sale support works hand in hand with Home Depot's 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Just 20 feet from the assembly line, you'll find the customer service department at Casablanca.
Casablanca Fan Company, this is Lydia. May I help you?
These knowledgeable representatives can answer questions about installation and help with service calls.
703.
You'll find their number in your workbook. In addition to Casablanca's service program, each fan comes with a comprehensive warranty. Here are the details.